How did you get into the distillery business?
Farm Distillery bill was passed because of wineries were popular and breweries were popular, but you couldn't make whiskey. There were no distilleries because you would have had to compete with Jack Daniels and you would have had to use a distributor. So for a small craft distiller, you can't make enough to deal with a distributor. And they came out with the Farm Distillery law back in 2010, I think it was. And they said if you use New York State farmers' grains, you can now sell directly to the public or sell directly to any restaurant or bar or anybody with a liquor license in New York State. And that was the beginning of the craft distilling industry, which is fabulous. Still only about 2% of us should go from a New York State farmer's field to the bottle, which you'll see across the street. The Jeff Lake Inn, it burnt down, the bar never burnt down. Somebody got a hold of the bar, and then it changed hands a bunch of times. And when I went to build the distillery, I was looking for a local bar, and finally they just donated it to us. I always call it the most expensive gift I ever got, because then we redid, we refurbished the whole thing, the back bar and the front bar, for the 1939 World's Fair in Queens.
Nice.
It came from a Borscht Belt hotel, and so it's New York State history and it's Sullivan County history, and we love history, and we have really unique history here. Also, we have a whole thing of gangsters and Murder Inc. We have Woodstock, we have Dirty Dancing, and it's beautiful.
You got it all.
Yeah, it is unique, and there's a comeback, so it's very cool. One and only buckwheat,
Okay.
grappa, fearless wheat whiskey,
Okay.
the most righteous bourbon, which is amazing,
Okay.
wicked white whiskey, which is an unaged whiskey, and then we have our Catskill straight rye whiskey, which is my favorite.
Okay.
And then of course we have the bottles of our anniversary bottles full of Peace, which are super cool. They're hand dipping them back there right now.
Cool.
8 years of doing this. We're professionals on this stuff.
What state? Michigan, the University of Michigan, and the people that made the stills, Carl from Germany used to come, and those three places taught people how to distill the first 6 years we were here. They only took 35 people, and they came from all over the world and the country.
Wow.
Not just the country, but the world. 35 is all they would take. They'd sold out in 6 seconds, and they did it for 6 years in a row, one in the fall and one in the spring. And then they would stay at the Villa Roma, okay? We'd put them all around, and it was
Nice.
a whole weekend deal where it was all classroom in the front where you saw in the tasting room, and then it was, where they actually
so cool.
distilled, and a lot of the distillers in New York State today, not New York State, all over actually, their first dive in was in the Catskill Distilling Company, because we were new in the industry. We had the stills from Carl, so they all got together and learning experience. And now they do their own, because it was Cornell.
So you started history.
Well,
You're part of history
I like
in
to
this-
feel I'm a piece of it.
A piece
And
of
that's
it.
a piece of it.